worlds. Well, joining me here to get more on the Academies for Primaries policy announced by the Conservatives, a member of the NUT National Executive, Kevin Courtney. The NUT, we know, opposes this, but did it ever approve, was it ever in favour at all of the Academy concept, even for secondary schools?
We think you should look at education policies on the basis of what works and what the evidence is. And the evidence, we think, on academies shows they're not working. There have been some improvements in results, but when you study those schools, Stephen Gorard, a professor, has done studies, other people have done them, these schools are improving their results by changing their pupil population. So that's social segregation that's coming in again. That's what we're worried about with this Tory proposal. It's a return to form for the Tories. It's a return to deregulation and privatisation and a return to social segregation.
But something's got to be done with our primary schools, hasn't it? Because too many of them are failing. Too many children are coming out at 11 unable to do the simplest things.
Well, I don't think that's true. But
well, you know, we can all quote the Ofsted figures. The number of failing primary schools rises by a quarter, and that was 2 years ago. Yeah. And since then...
But the vast majority of our schools are doing very well. There are things that can be done. There are things that easily could be done. For example, there is a fall coming in the number of primary pupils, a demographic fall coming. If the government and the Tories committed to maintain funding at the current levels, then class sizes could begin to drop. Now, I know that the Tory party is in favour of small classes because they send their children to private schools. They pay a lot of money to get small classes. So what we think is that what's good enough for Tory MPs' children should be good enough for all of us. That's where they should be spending money, not fantasising about different school types and spending millions of pounds on primary school academies, but trying to do something for all children. Reducing class sizes would be a very good thing to do.
Why not have a series of pilot projects with primary schools? When I spoke to Beverly Hughes, the schools minister, earlier, she pointedly didn't rule out a pilot project. That's how much they oppose it.
We'd like a pilot, we'd like to have a proper study of secondary school academies, because there hasn't been one. There is no independent evidence that shows that academies are working. We've asked the government to give some other schools all the money that they've given to academies, for the Prime Minister to go and visit some other schools that are being tested out and to see how they do, because what we think is where academies do have some advantages is the extra money that's been given. It's not the privatisation that's doing anything worthwhile. So why doesn't the government test that out by giving all of our schools the sort of money they're giving to the Academies programme?
Kevin Courtney, thank you.